All right, y'all, let's cut straight to the chase. Is Manny Pacquiao afraid to fight Errol Spence Jr.? Now, I don't ever like to say a fighter is scared to fight another fighter because these dudes make a living punching each other in the face, punching each other in the body. They make a living beating up other men. That's how they make their money. So I know they have a tremendous, a big heart. You got to have a lot of heart to do that. I will never question the heart of a legend that's been doing this for 20 years in Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is a living icon. But I will say Manny sure has reservations about fighting Errol Spence Jr. And I know that because when he got into the ring with Errol, after Errol put the beat down on Mikey Garcia, he saw that, and he saw that Errol had a lot more boxing skill than what was initially thought. And Errol has power, even though you can say, well, he didn't put down Mikey Garcia. Mikey had blood and guts. He had nothing but heart and guts to stay up in there because he took a beating. But I think Manny has reservations about taking that type of fight, especially at this point in his career at age 40. And Manny is trying to get a big payday. But when they asked Manny, when Errol basically presented the idea of fighting Manny Pacquiao next, Manny was he said sure, but it was that one, I guess. It was that I guess type of sure. Like, not that, hell yeah, let's go. I want to get it on. Let's get it. We can go ahead and fight right now. It wasn't that type of attitude. It wasn't that, I would love to do that. Let's go and do this next fight. I didn't see that from Manny. I didn't see that type of enthusiasm about fighting Errol Spence Jr. And when Manny released the poll on Twitter, he named everybody but Errol Spence Jr. He named Floyd Mayweather, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, and Sean Porter. Errol Spence Jr.'s name was not even an option on this poll on Twitter, right? So that let me know he has no intentions of fighting Errol Spence. He doesn't. And again, I don't say he's scared of him, but he has reservations about it. One, you can say due to Errol's youth, his strength, and the fact that he has better boxing skills than a lot of people like to admit. Pacquiao is still a great fighter, but I saw little things in him, of course, with age, you're going to have a little slippage here and there. And he still looked great, but I know he didn't look like the Manny Pacquiao of old in his prime when he fought Adrian Broner, even though he won easily, right? So this is the thing, too, because people are going to say Manny deserves a pass for this. He's a legend. He's been giving us nothing but historic fights over the years. So why are we berating him or why are we coming down on him, right? And this is the thing. Nobody is just like, I'm not trying to kill Manny Pacquiao, but we got to call a spade a spade. If we're going to criticize Errol Spence for not calling out Terrence Crawford, for not fighting Terrence Crawford, if we're going to criticize Sean Porter for not fighting Errol Spence after he said, this is before he fought Ugas, he basically was saying he wanted to fight Errol Spence Jr. and took a whole other fight, and Sean got killed for that, right? So if we're going to kill those fighters for things like that, Manny Pacquiao has to be held to the same standard. And I don't want to hear the fact, oh, Manny's old now. Why is Errol trying to pick on the old man? Listen, Manny's still fighting. He's still fighting. If you want to give him the senior citizen badge and say he shouldn't be fighting, he's too old now, he shouldn't be still in the ring competing. He shouldn't be in the ring competing if that's the case. If you want to mark him as a senior citizen and say that Errol's just picking on the old guy, then why is Manny Pacquiao still fighting? He's fighting because he still feels like he's competitive in the sport, and he still wants to make a hell of a big paycheck, and he still has a desire to be in the sport. So if you got a strong will to still fight, people are still going to expect you to fight the best guys out there, and they're going to want you to fight the young lions, the Terrence Crawfords. So some people can say, well, he didn't fight Terrence Crawford on ESPN, so what makes you think he's going to fight Errol Spence now? But that would be a great fight, and he should be held to the same standards. Floyd Mayweather, even though I don't even like Floyd no more. I grew up really, and I still feel like I still admire Floyd's boxing skills, his boxing ability, because I feel like he is a craftsman and a magician in the ring. But I don't like a lot of the other stuff he be doing. Personal stuff and throwing the black community under the bus. I don't fool with that. I don't honor that at all. But Floyd was criticized heavily for not fighting the Young Lions when he took that fight against Andre Berto instead of fighting a guy like Keith Thurman. Instead of trying to fight younger Lions, Danny Garcia, they felt like, why the hell are you fighting an Andre Berto who's took several losses? And we know Berto is not the same fighter that we thought he once was. So if Floyd Mayweather is going to get criticized for that, and they're going to say, well, you still fighting, so you can still fight the best. Manny looked pretty sharp, even though I said you can still see that he's not the super elite Manny that he was. He's still a great fighter. He won easily against Adrian Broner. So I'm not trying to hear that whole age thing because, look, Adrian, what, 27? Something like that? Adrian 27? If you beat a 27-year-old, or 28, however, I don't know how old Adrian is, 27, 28, he ain't 30. If he beat him, Errol Spence is about 28 too, so he can get in there. That age thing should not be brought up. I'm not trying to hear that. So, yeah, I feel like no man is above reproach. No man is above criticism, no matter how much of a legend you are. And that was proven when you seen Floyd Mayweather get extremely criticized for fighting guys that people felt like were easier competition than the young, hungry Lions that was in the welterweight division. Manny, in my opinion, is looking for that huge payday that he got when he fought Floyd the first time. And, I'm not mad at him for that. You in a sport to make sure you gain as much revenue as possible. I mean, you're trying to be fighting for a living. If you're fighting for a living, you want to be rewarded handsomely for that. Because you're putting your life on the line every single time you get into the ring. Fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr. is another $200 million, almost $300 million fight. Even though I feel like, I'm going to watch it because I'm a boxing fan, I really don't have a strong desire to see a part 2 because Floyd ain't trying to go for the kill. Manny wasn't, he tried to touch him, he couldn't, and it really was like a chess match. And I'm really not super excited for that. I know Errol Spence is gonna try to go for the kill against Manny. He gonna try to get him up out of there. So that's why I'm more excited for Errol Spence than Floyd Mayweather, than a Floyd Mayweather fight. But we know Manny's like, look, Manny's trying to secure himself. He's 40 years old now. He's a senator. He gives a lot of his money away freely to all the people. He gives back so much money. He's such a giving person. A philanthropic person. He gives away so much money in the Philippines to anybody that asks for it, it seems like. Hey, he might need some. He got ripped off for years, by promoters. So, hey, look, okay, I need that big money fight. Let's go ahead and do it. So, I can't blame him for wanting to fight Floyd, but, it's going to look funny due to the fact that he said got in the ring, and even though he kind of sheepishly said it, he said he would be open to fight Errol, but Errol is not even on the list. Again, you can have, if he would have just put Errol on the list and then decided to fight somebody else, okay, only person I would have been like, okay, you can fight is Floyd Mayweather because it makes sense monetarily. Anybody else, I feel like he should have fought Errol if he's going to say if he says he agrees to the fight. But he didn't even have Errol on the list. If he would have picked Floyd Mayweather, but had Errol on the list, I would have been like, okay, cool. He at least acknowledges that Errol is on the radar and shares to the world that Errol is on his radar. But he didn't even do that. So, that's a whole crazy thing. But again, excuse me, I gotta say that no man is above criticism. No man. It doesn't matter if you're a legend or not. We cannot, because Manny has given us so much, we cannot say, okay, he's giving us enough. We don't have to see that. If you're going to do that, you got to do it for every fighter across the board. And I think mostly everybody in the boxing community would be excited to see a Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence fight. Because Manny, one thing we know, Manny going to come to fight. He going to throw a lot of punches, and he still got pop. So he's not going to give up. And he's going to come to Errol. He is. So it's going to make it a super exciting fight when you got two guys that can box and can bang. So that's all I need to know. That's really what I'm ready to see. But I know that Floyd Mayweather fight, and Floyd Mayweather got 73% of the votes on the Twitter poll. That fight is going to draw a ton of fanfare, going to bring Floyd out of retirement, and Floyd will come out of retirement for the right check. If it's $300 million, he's coming out of retirement, getting into the shape, and sparring like hell to put on a show to make sure he's victorious, to seal his legacy, but to also collect that check. So, we know that fight's going to bring in so much, like it's going to bring in a ton of bread. A ton of bread. So I can't fault him for that, but at the same time, it's like, I still feel like he still is he has reservations about fighting Errol, because he knows Errol is strong competition. And it makes a great fight, man. Errol wants to fight a legend. Manny Pacquiao is a legend, a future Hall of Famer, and I think that Errol will become a legend in this sport. I really do. I really think the kid has the skills. He has that mean streak in him. He got that dog in him, that will to want to put guys down. And he has I think he is up for challenging himself. And I think he's going to move up to super welterweight, 154. Then he's going to go to 160. And I think he will challenge himself. And then if Errol can't get that Manny Pacquiao fight, he's looking for that big thing to make him the star in boxing. Because somebody has to replace Floyd Mayweather at the pinnacle of the sport. And I think he knows that to get that status, he has to challenge himself severely. And if he can't get the Manny fight, he can fight Bud. But I think he knows if he goes up in weight eventually and fights Canelo, goes up soon to fight Canelo, that is going to put him at the star power level. If he ever manages to beat Canelo Alvarez, oh my Lord, Errol will be the king, pay-per-view king. Mark my words. And you will see more of his personality seep out as well. But again, this is all about Manny Pacquiao, straight off topic. Manny is a legend. I respect the hell out of Manny. I think he's a warrior. And if he takes a fight with Errol, it will exemplify how much of a warrior he is. But I really want to see that fight. I want to see Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao more than I want to see Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather Jr. I want to see Errol and Manny more than Floyd and Manny. That's just my personal preference. That style, Errol versus Manny, is just more of an exciting matchup. I've seen the first fight with Floyd. Floyd won for sure. He won for sure, but it wasn't entertaining. And I think the Floyd and Errol will be very entertaining, and it will be a show for many to remember. Peace.